many times over the years and in many towns, when somebody's name sounds like boo, when he comes to bat, it's the cheer that sounds like a boo. And I know that with Minnesota Twins, they once had Boo Ford, and they do that for him. And of course, there have been some others over the years as well. But yeah, well, I guess we'll get to baseball quick enough because, well, I like it, and I went to some games this week. I went to two St. Paul Saints games this week. That is not typical for me, especially being on weeknights, but I guess I had enough of a reason to go and forego some of the resting that I do after work. One of them was credit union night. I wanted to represent my credit union, and I'm thankful that I went to that one Tuesday night because I showed up early enough to get the giveaway item, which I found was just a plastic drinking cup with the credit union's logo on it, along with the Police and Fire Department Foundation. But that second one was one thing why I showed up early because I saw a bagpipe band perform for those Police and Fire Foundations. And I'm thinking, oh, finally, they're playing bagpipe music that is happy, because all too often, when it's a police department bagpipe band, it's played at funerals, dirges. Yeah, sometimes you want to hear happy music. And I did my best to get in front of them so I would get a good picture of the band. And then Thursday, I went back to the Saints game for a different promotion of interest to me. It was Big Ten night, and I ended up seeing the event coordinator from my alumni chapter, and she said, 7th inning stretch, we're doing a picture. It's like, okay. And I've seen the picture on Facebook, and when I commented on it, I said, well, I guess I can smile when I want to. I'm not known for smiling that much. Yeah, there was 2 games right there. We'll get back to that. There was more baseball that I watched this week. Out of town. Ron knows the banking boys needs tails for the bank, like tails for the crib. I keep thinking I've seen it all at the bank in 5 years. Nope, not even close. This past week, there was this one email thread that I was put on, and then I'm thinking, I recognize the names of some of the people that are on this thread I was copied on. One is the current CEO, and the other is the former CEO. And then I checked some of the others in the employee directory and found out there were plenty of other senior leaders pretty close to the CEO's level too. And it's like, why was I added to this thread about a check I overnighted? I was following orders. And when my boss saw that, he said, just send it to customer service. And it's like, yeah. I'm sure that the CEOs have more important things to do than worry about one check that I overnighted, which was probably the right thing for me to do. But you know how customers are. Sometimes they say we're not doing things good enough for them, fast enough, whatever. It's like, well, fuck them then. And then the other notable thing of the week involved my boss even more. It's a reminder of the lesson I learned from my football coach in high school. He said, don't argue with the referees during a game. Let me do that for you. And I've evoked that before. I said that to my colleague, my vacation replacement. I said, yeah, I still apply that with the work I do now. Or sometimes I'm just better off letting the boss handle this. If it looks like it's a little too sticky for me. And that happened this past week when there was one business line that wanted us to increase the number of overnight checks we did every day. And it's like, yeah, I already send a lot of overnighted checks. And it's like, boss, what do you say about this one? He said, well, no, we're not capable. And business line said, well, it's not good. We'll have to go back to these other people to find out what we're doing. It's like, yay, because I don't want to spend my whole day doing UPS overnight labels. I've got other things to do besides that. Yes, more baseball. I went to see 2 games this weekend in St. Louis. It was my annual visit. I know this was not the typical one either, because I'm used to walking from the airport to my hotel. I mean, it's not that far, but I know that most people won't do that because, of course, some people would just rather save the time and the energy and get a cab or the airport shuttle. Well, not me. I guess I want the exercise. But this time, a friend of mine in advance that lives locally said, well, tell me when you're arriving and I can pick you up at the airport. It's like, okay. Well, when I got to MSP, I found out my flight was already delayed. But thankfully, that was the only delay, and it was about 30 minutes or so. And then he said, what are you wearing? And it's like, yeah, I think that'll narrow it down a lot because I was wearing a beige St. Louis Cardinals hat and a leather jacket. And it was warm. He said, yeah, that's going to stand out. Both of those things will. Yeah, I take the leather jacket off when I'm too warm for it, but I guess